cut out with that soul music.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Wheat Chief Hotel Theberton Unmasked Show. Kiss tribute night. My name's Soursob Bob and this is Snooks LaVie. Our parents both realised we were going to have careers in music and so gave us strange names. It saves a lot of mucking around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sleeping on your job underneath your desk. Don't die before you're dead. You feel like breathing's just a wasted breath. Don't die before you're dead. You want to succeed but you can't define success. Don't die before you're dead. You justify ignoring cries of distress. Don't die before you're dead, because if you die before you're dead, you're going to make a mess of your funeral arrangements. At the ceremony there'll be no tears. Everyone will say, well, he's been dead for years. Are you feeling depressed? Get it off your chest and don't die before you're dead. Are you too depressed to maintain interest? Don't die before you're dead. Better fix it soon before there's nothing left. Don't die before you're dead and you can't find a reason to get out of bed. Don't die before you're dead, or you can blame a virus or society, politicians or your family. But down the pub they'll still sell your beers, even though they know you've been dead for years. Misplaced your faith, now you can't find it. Don't die before you're dead, so you gotta try and find some way to be reminded. Don't die before you're dead. Wonder how you got yourself into this mess. Don't die before you're dead, 'cause you still got a body but your spirit's left. Don't die before you're dead. If you die before you're dead, you're gonna make a mess of your funeral arrangements. At the ceremony there'll be no tears. Everyone will say, well, he's been dead for years. Don't die before you're dead. Don't die before you're dead. Don't die. This next song is a batters song. Two-minute noodles is in my thoughts. 2-minute noodles is in my mind. 2-minute noodles are on my trousers. That's why I've left them behind. Get me a fork. Get me a fork. The CIA has put a radio in my head. Kardashian are conspiring to take over the world. It's true, and there's a hidden message in every Beatles song telling me everything. And I'll tell you all about it just as soon as you get here. The CIA has put a radio in my hand, and all the food around here has been poisoned. 2-minute noodles. I had another 7 packets today. I alienated the last of my friends this week, forgiven too much of the game away. Get me a fork or any sharp object will do. I've got to get this radio out of my head. They can hear my thoughts. They can hear my thoughts. They're recording every single word that I think. But I'm refusing to do what they're instructing me to do. My sanity's poised on the brink. I'm telling you. It's going to be 35 in Darwin. I heard that. It's one of the advantages of having like national television programs. They can tell you weather in places you're not.
They probably mentioned the barometric pressure and...
They probably did. I just remembered it's going to be 35 in Darwin.
They never mentioned the Delta T though, did they? For the spraying kind of people, the people that spray. Spray the crops. The Delta T.
The Delta T.
Yeah, yeah. The
Delta Goodrem.
It's the Brazilian variant.
This is about living in Darwin without a house. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't get to see my nephew no more, nor my nieces, and both my wives have restraining orders on me, but they're happy to see each other. They have afternoon tea with me mother. One of them's been sleeping with my brother, and I've been living in the long grass, living in the long grass, living in the long, long, long grass, living in the long grass, living in the long grass, living in the long, long, long grass. It's just a matter of class, living in the long grass. Gonna be here forever. I'm gonna get my act together. Gonna quit the drink and be healed by the weather. And meanwhile, time to think. Take it easy, take it slower. Don't have to worry about eviction no more. Just about the council mower and long, long grass. It's just a matter of class, living in the long grass. Sweet home Casuarina, where the skies are blue. Sweet home Casuarina, Lord, I'm coming home to you, coming home right now, and I've been living in the long, living in the long, living in the long grass, living in the long, living in the long, living in the long grass, living in the long, living in the long, living in the long grass, living in the long, living in the long, living in the long grass. Oh, oh, it's just a matter of class, living in the long grass. Of all the songs that you'll hear us play tonight, this is the one we should know the best, because this is the first song we ever played together. So it's very, it takes us down memory road to when I was looking for a harmonica player to record this song with. It's called Haymaker. It was near the end of winter. The sky became a blue ceiling, and I woke up feeling good again. That's the way that I was feeling. I said it's time we had a holiday. We did some freewheeling, so pack your picnic baskets and let's drive off to New Zealand. But 50 k's this side of Ballarat, the radiator started leaking water, and you told me that you wanted a Big Mac, and so did your darling daughter. What am I supposed to do? Just drive my car till it blows up? Just so you two can feed your face and then throw up and then throw up. So I said, that's it, I'm leaving now. I'll see you again someday. I'm gonna walk across this paddock here and go make myself some hay. You can't do that, you accuse me because you don't know how. I said I best go learn quickly then, so I can feed the cow. I gotta feed the cow. What cow? You screamed hysterically. I said, well, the one for your Big Mac. I better go feed him up before you two attack. Because right now it does not seem fair, it does not seem right at all. Because you're big and really fierce, and the cow is still quite small, he's still quite small. So I left you quite abruptly then, as soon as I'd finished with my replying. Because I wanted to go make some hay while the sun was still shining. But you knew that I'd come back to you, I'd return without fail. 6 months later I did come back, and I was carrying a bale, carrying a bale. This was my moment of great triumph, and you knew and you applauded. And for yourself you've been patient, now your patience was rewarded. Because I bought you food even though it might not be exactly what you'd ordered. You ate the hay and the cow went hungry, but avoided being slaughtered. It avoided being slaughtered. I once sent this song to the Triple J Unearthed page, and they wouldn't put it up. So it's lucky you're here today, because free speech at the Wheat Chief Hotel, you can hear this song. The ABC won't allow us to hear. Oh, 1, 2, 3, trying to sort things out with Telstra. I didn't know what was going on, it was like something out of Kafka. They transferred me through to a department which put me right back again, round and round in circles. I was getting frustrated, and that is when I called the industry ombudsman. Before a young man with a folder came knocking at my door, knocking at my door. He had a pocket full of lies. He said he was there just to check my line, and then he got out a piece of paper which he wanted me to sign, and I thought it was an autograph, and I've just wasted a month of my life trying to sort things out with Telstra. I didn't know what was going on, but they didn't want to be helpful. They put me on hold, and then the line dropped out, and I had to call again. I was getting frustrated, and that is when I called the industry ombudsman. Because we are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come to be done over by Telstra, to be done over by Telstra. I've been done over by Telstra, 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 I've been done over by Telstra. What's that? I nearly got it. Did we do smaller apocalypse? No, we didn't. There's an angel with a sledgehammer standing on a bridge. I ask if he's for real, and he says he's rigid, and then I try to analyze it just to see if it all fits. He tells me not to worry, it's a small apocalypse, and it's a small apocalypse, it's a small apocalypse, it's a small apocalypse, and it's a small apocalypse. I'm blinded by his halo, and my voice can only stammer. I ask him what instructions he was given for his hammer, and the bridge it starts a burning, and the weather's changing quick. He tells me not to worry, it's a small apocalypse, and it's a small apocalypse, it's a small apocalypse, it's a small apocalypse, and it's a small apocalypse. Then the water starts a-boiling and the stream becomes the sea. The bridge will not span it but sticks out as a jetty, and my view of the horizon fills with sinking planes and ships. He tells me not to worry, it's a small apocalypse, and it's a small apocalypse. It's a small apocalypse, it's a small apocalypse, it's a small apocalypse. Then the rappers come in gangs of 3, and then they come in hordes. With their fat fluorescent textures, they graffiti all the boards. And the angel blows his trumpet and he tells the little shits, tells them not to worry, it's a small apocalypse, and it's a small apocalypse. It's a small apocalypse. It's a small apocalypse, and it's a small apocalypse. It's a small apocalypse. It's a small apocalypse. It's a small apocalypse, and it's a small apocalypse. This next one's about a voyage I went on a boat. It's a true story. It's the story of Jonah.
Did you catch any fish, Bob?
Didn't catch any fish. Someone was caught by a fish.
A big fish.
A big fish. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was at the Crown and Anchor pub, partaking of the schooner, drinking with some of me crew and talking about tuna. A blokey come and sit by us, it seemed he was a loner. He said he wanted to work on boats, he said his name was Jonah. And Jonah was a backpacker from a kibbutz in Israel. We told him of our need for crew and what time we would set sail. Our boat, she was entered in the Sydney-Hobart yacht race. We've been in it some times before, this year we wanted first place. But a terrible storm struck as soon as we'd left Sydney Cove. A storm so rough it seemed to be the very wrath of Jove. We searched for women crew on board to blame for our bad luck. We threw them to the briny depths, but then our ship was struck. And hauled by a massive whale who also ate our rudder. I'd never seen a whale like this whilst down at Victor Harbour. Our boat was taking water fast with no rudder to guide us. It's then at last Jonah piped up with something to confide us. He said that he'd been sent by God to go to Melbourne town. He said he didn't want to go, he said he'd rather drown. We said that he could do just that and made sure he was weighted. Once we'd cast him overboard, the storm abated. His personal itinerary had come to no avail, and as Jonas sank down beneath us, he was swallowed by the whale. Our Beachy made it back to shore, retired from the flotilla, and Jonah was spewed by the whale on the beach up at St Kilda. Which meant I never got back from him the $50 I had lent, as he went into that wicked place to call it to repent. And the moral of this story, yes, the lesson of this tale, is you be careful how you choose the crew with whom you're gonna sail. I have a friend who we won't name. Let's just call her Sarah, the German. And she wanted to go for a drive to look around the country before she got deported. And she wanted some advice. She was looking at some four-wheel drives to buy and just, was asking me some advice about it. And I told her to get a Toyota Corolla and go for a drive. I said they're much better served by doing that. And the great thing about advice, my grandfather told me, was that you can take it or leave it. And so she went and hired a big diesel Hilux thing as big as a bloody tank. Good luck changing the tyre on that, Sarah. Anyway, when I'm not being up here being a professional musician at the WheatyLIVE Hotel in Theberton, I've got a side business called Soursob Bob Outback Two-Wheel Drive Adventures. And this song's called Mazda 323 Outback Homesick Blues. I had to leave the city and all its grim faces, my pointless job and all the nutcases. I had to get away to some distant places, maybe go to Queensland, see the camel races, just like Captain Starlight and Strzelecki. I just want to be sitting around the campfire having brekkie, maybe take a friend for company and to help me with some petrol in my Mazda 323. So I went on holiday with my mate Jeffrey. We went to Birdsville and we went to the Dig Tree, and things were going well on our trip out back, till I took a turn down a smaller track and he said, "Hold on, Robert, this reenactment has gone far enough for me." And at least Perkin Wheels had camels and they weren't being driven off by you to die in your Mazda 323. Well, it ain't like Jeffrey to be so rude, but he said he didn't like my whole attitude. He said he didn't like the billy I brewed, and he said he hadn't liked any of the food, and I said, "Hold it right there, Jeff. Reed, this has gone about far enough for me." And at least Perkin Wheels had camels and they didn't have to listen to all your whinging in a Mazda 323. Yeah, so I gave Jeff just a bit more lip. He wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the trip. It's like that every time that I go away. I gotta find a new friend for every holiday, and sometimes I wonder if they're just too far from home or if it's something to do with me. I decided it resulted from all the jealousy and envy that my passengers fell from a Mazda 323. Informer leadership qualities. So go and get yourself a four-wheel drive, air-conditioned with a fridge inside, and you can cross the deserts and the rivers wide and take snapshots and slides for when you arrive, and stop and have a drink, add in a mink with other members of your nomadic tribe. But if you really want to see the country, either get yourself some camels or come with me in my Mazda 323, roaming free. Only way to beat the Datsun 180B. If you really want to see the country, get yourself some camels or come with me in my Mazda 323. This is an old song that I didn't write. This was written by Benjo, who used to be in a band called The Bedridden around Adelaide in the 1990s. For anyone who's ever had like a uplifting experience in their garden. Perhaps when everything else isn't looking so great. Seems to be the undertone of this song. My first tree, taller than me, light another cigarette before I leave you here. And I know it's a dangerous toy, but somehow it suits my mood. Such a perfect day. Think I might sit here a while. You make me smile. You make me. You make me. You make me smile. You make me. You make me. You make me smile. You make me. You make me. You make me smile again. Only cost $1.20 from the native section at Godfrey's. Took it home in a small plastic bag all the way down Port Road. And yes, I know that our soil is full of lead and toxic waste. But still it wasn't very long before my first tree was taller than me. Making me smile. You make me. You make me. You make me smile. You make me smile again. What do you reckon? I spoke with Benjo about that, and that was a true story. He did. He said the tree just went nuts when he planted it in the, and he was worried about the soil. So what do you imagine as this? It was a gum tree. What do you think it was?
I think it was a Corymbia maculata.
Okay. I kind of think of it more as a Eucalyptus comagelensis, but
Well, it could have been a lazy Angophora costata, which
or a or a leucoxylon or a
yeah, it could have been Leucoxylon rosea with the pink flower. That's right.
But yeah.
It could have been a sideroxylon, an ironbark,
Yeah.
which is still a eucalyptus, not a Corymbia.
So anyway, you can think of it as any type of gum tree, any type of tree at all. That's the beauty about art.
As long as it's not an Ulmus juralensis, friends. That was a very bad choice by landscapers in the
What's
the
that
mid
one?
to late
What's that
90s. Ulmus juralensis.
What's that?
I'm not evergreen alder.
Okay.
It lifted many homes' footings.
Or a robinia.
Robinium up top, yeah. Umbrellicifolium.
There you go. I hope you appreciated that attempt at some mid-song banter or mid-song botany.
We're both in the horticulture game, friends. And I've worked with Bob on a few occasions. Had to have a radox by the time I got home, removing a rondo from the creek beds along the Torrens. True story.
We're going to finish up with a couple of new songs that I've just recorded recently at Kimbo's Spare Room Audio, and once again, Triple J won't put these up on their website. So if you want a copy, please send me an email and I'll send you an MP3 because I haven't got any CDs of these yet. Well, I can give you a WAV file if you want. I've just been reading The Picture of Dorian Gray by... Who's it by? Oscar Wilde, that's the fella. He was wild. And it's a brutal book, let me tell you.
For some reason I don't know why, I thought of DeLorean, the car, the cocaine smuggling guy.
No, different story.
From Chevrolet.
It's a different story. Anyway, it's about art, and it's a brutal story. This is also about art, and it's doesn't involve so much reading, but it's pretty brutal.
Keith Richards was asked once, how do you feel about art? And he goes, isn't it short for Arthur? I like Keith.
You have gone. You say that it's forever. When someone asks how long, forever, that's very long. Forever, with no regrets. And for myself I felt relief when you left. Relief with no regrets. And I don't have to pretend I like your art anymore. I don't have to pretend I like your art anymore. I don't have to pretend anymore. should you turn around. I know that I will greet you when I meet you in this town. No longer your clown. 'Cause I don't wanna fight, I'll be polite and avoid labelling. But why walk the line between supporting and enabling anymore? And I don't have to pretend I like your art anymore. I don't have to pretend I like your art anymore. I don't have to pretend anymore. And it's not against the law, but it's something I abhor. Why don't you learn to draw? Tell me, what's the reason for? Why don't you learn to draw? Thanks for all coming out, and Pat the Rat's up next. Thanks for organising this gig for us, Pat. We got one more tune, which
It's actually erected at our kitchen.
you mean what do you mean it was erected?
It was
You don't erect songs, you
okay.
you compose them. You're a weirdo. I'm trying to work out how to introduce this song. This song's it's about someone who has a poor understanding of the first principle of quarantine. So this is educational more than anything. Retrospective education of this could be like a Maxima training for security. Put it in the guides. Manual. Yeah, the learning manual. This song's from a learning manual. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. First principle of quarantine is restriction of movement, if you know what I mean. That might sound like a simple plan, but it's something Australians don't always understand. Dictator Dan. And I've been working really hard as a security guard. Corona boner, Corona boner. I've been working really hard as a security guard. Corona boner, Corona boner, yeah. Well, I had no experience and got no training, learned it all on the job. But I'm not complaining, there was so many rules to which I had to conform. Once I got myself a brand new uniform with epaulets and fringe benefits. The girl in room 9 looked 1 in a million. How was I to know that she had the Brazilian variant? Genomic sequence. And I was working really hard as a security guard. Corona boner, Corona boner. Working really hard as a security guard. Corona boner, Corona boner, yeah. What happens on the day shift stays on the day shift. What happens on the night shift stays on the night shift. What happened on the 3rd floor stayed on the 3rd floor. And no one's keeping score about the 5th floor. Turns turns out I didn't have immunity. Neither did the rest of the community, but I was working really hard as a security guard. Corona boner, working really hard as a security guard. Corona boner, working in a coal mine, going down, working in a coal mine, whoops, about to slip down, working in a coal mine, going down, working in a coal mine, whoops, about to slip down, working in a coal mine, going down, working in a coal mine, whoops, about to slip down, working in a coal mine, going down, working in a coal mine, whoops, about to slip down. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Snooks. And thanks, Marty, for the sound, as always.
And I'm with Bob. We'd like to give that song up to all the all the security guards out there who have got a really tough job, and it's very hard and difficult at times. So we appreciate their services. Thank you, all the security guards. It's hard, I know.
Up next, Pat the Rat.
And difficult too.